Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Bravo Bunch. We are breaking down all things this past week in Bravo. That is Summer House, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Below Deck Sailing Yacht, Real Housewives of Dallas, and Real Housewives of New Jersey. I am Sam Henson. I am one of the three that is always here every week to break this down. As always, I am joined by two of my sisters. First up, Kristian, how are you doing this evening?
You already know. Big Frida was here giving me life. I literally was so happy to see Big Frida this week. But I'm doing well. This was definitely a better week in Bravo than last. So I'm excited to be talking about it.
Yes, I think we were excited to see Big Frida. I'm not sure she was excited to be there.
Oh, I was just happy to see her.
Also joining us, that voice is Josh Mendelson. Josh, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. We had a big week in Bravo, and I'm so excited to talk about it.
Yes, and we are not here alone. We have someone joining us. So Josh, why don't you introduce us?
Yes, I am so excited for this, guys. This is my best friend. I have known this girl for the majority of my life. I'd say 20, 25 years. We started off going to camp together, and we've been besties ever since. She knows a lot about my life. I know a lot about hers. Good, bad, ugly. It's great. And she is a huge Bravo fan as well. So this is Cole Levy, everybody. Hi, Cole.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to finally have some people to talk about my love of Bravo with, because I don't talk to anybody about it.
Oh, well, we'll talk about it. We're happy to have you here.
Here for it.
All right. So first, let's get into the news of the week. I think we'll start with, let's start with the positive note, because I am very excited that Beverly Hills, it's on the way. She's coming. She is coming fast. And there was rumors that there was going to be a trailer yesterday that never came, unfortunately.
I know. Blue balls of the century. I know.
I think we're getting it next week. That's what I've seen. But someone who has seen the trailer said that Sutton was holding a diamond in the trailer, meaning she is likely not a friend of next season. I think that tracks. I'm very excited. Josh, do you have something to add?
I'm here for it. Okay, Sutton, she wasn't my favorite, but she did bring the drama last season. So I think she deserves her diamond, and I am ready for Sutton to be a main housewife this season, if that's the case.
Cole, what about you? Are you excited for this one?
I love Sutton. I think she added so much spice to last season of Beverly Hills. Between her fashion, which she's the only one that's going to couture. Dolce & Gabbana is making her outfits to order. All the other ones are going to Kyle's store, Yeah. And just her under the breath comments. I was like, yes, we needed this on Beverly Hills. Yeah, I'm stoked.
She's messy. She's calculated too, which I really like. And I love a little refined mess. So I'm happy that she has a diamond.
I also think she'll have a really good season too. I see her doing good this season.
Well,
everything we've heard about it is that she's so messy.
It's her southern charm. She fools you. You don't expect it, and then she'll just undercut you, and it's so sharp and clever. I think she's going to have a great season.
Is she the one who's been pressing Erica about everything going on?
Yes, apparently she's very nosy.
That's the perfect person for it. That's exactly who I want to be pressing Erica.
Yes, I'm so happy for Sutton. She's such a chaotic personality. I still think about that time when they were in Italy and she went to her private dressing, her private dressing, and then had a breakdown in the middle of it. And I'm so here for that energy. I cannot wait to see it all season long. And I'm ready for the messy drama with Erica as well. Okay, so fingers crossed, Beverly Hills trailer comes out next week. If it is, we'll talk about it. I'm very excited for the season. Apparently, a lot of the housewives that are on Beverly Hills are very nervous to see the trailer. They don't know what it's going to be about. So I think we're in for some good, messy drama.
I love that.
Okay. Also, it's a good sign. When you're scared, that's a good sign. Other drama. Okay. Andy did announce that there is a Watch What Happens Live special with a lot of kids of housewives past and present. I don't know. There's 30 names seemingly of people attached to this. I don't know how anyone is ever going to talk in this. Maybe they'll speak one line. I don't have the full rundown in front of me, but all the drama that did come out Right. Josh, do you want to say something?
All I care about is if they have Gia Judas on. If she sings
She's on.
the song, I want her to sing her song from like
Guys,
10 years ago.
There was some cinematic parallels to this episode of New Jersey with her speaking in front of everyone to the song. Okay, then we'll talk about that in a little bit. From what we know, there were 2 housewives that complained that their children were not involved. I think originally there were a lot of theories that Rinna was one of those wives. Rinna denies this on Instagram, said that her children were asked to be part of it, and I guess must have turned it down because they're too big, dating Scott Disick or something. I think it was Kyle. I think that is like absolutely who one of the wives is.
That's funny.
What, Josh? What do you think? Do you have any theories as to who it could possibly be?
Okay, so I was thinking Kyle as well.
Yeah.
I also think it's honestly I was thinking Nene, even though like she hates Bravo and will never go back. I still think that she's the type of person who would make a whole ruckus about it.
Maybe like Giselle. I could see Giselle being upset
Yes.
that her daughters weren't asked.
Yeah.
I think that is like a definite lead there. I don't know. Cole, do you have any theories about this one?
I mean, I'm just thinking about Vicky blowing up at the reunion. What if Brianna and Ryan weren't asked?
Brianna's there. Brianna will be
there. She is there. Okay. Well,
I can see Vicky still being one to complain, even though
not both kids.
See, Bravo will still cast her kids.
Is Avery going?
Avery, I don't know.
I know Gia, Vicky's daughter. I know Frankie Catania because he's hot AF. We got
Luann's daughter,
Brielle.
Victoria. We have some Manzos showing up. We have Meredith Brooks Marks, of course.
Brielle Bierman.
Of course. Cynthia's daughter, Avery. Singer.
Avery Singer.
Can I like maybe have a hot take on this?
What?
I don't give a fuck about the kids in this way. Like, I like that they're like there to like sass their parents on television, but I don't want to hear them have like individual thought on a hosted reality show with Andy.
Wait,
I just don't even know what this will look like.
Maybe Melissa Gorga. Maybe Melissa Gorga complained because Antonia's not on it.
Oh,
you could see that.
Okay, you know who else I think it could be is Carrie. I think Carrie's daughters aren't there, and I can see Carrie being super upset about that.
Especially because they've had such a large narrative in this season.
Yeah. Yep. We'll get to that again. All right. So I guess we'll last a little bit before we get into the episodes. There's some Jen Shaw minor updates here, some minor Jen Shaw updates. We don't know too much more, other than the fact that Bravo is apparently like intent on filming everything they can. They're not letting this go. They said as long as Jen's lawyers approve of it, and I guess the court has approved of it, she will be filming season 2 after the arrest. I just like, this is event television. I don't know if there's anything that will compare to this. Not even Erica's dumb legal drama will be able to compare to this. I'm sad that we're gonna have to wait so long for this, but it's gonna deliver. It's gonna deliver. I feel it in my bones. And report if there's any more Jen Shaw stuff coming up. I feel like we're gonna start seeing more court stuff, and she's pleading not guilty. That's all we know so far.
Lord, why is she pleading not guilty? That's just
she wants a long trial. I think that's what we're in
for. Let's get it all ready so she can leave the country illegally. Okay, Cole. What's your thought on the whole Jen Shaw?
Yes.
I mean, I'm glad that we finally have some explanation as to how she had so much money.
Right.
Because the whole season in that chalet, I'm like, your husband's the assistant coach for a college football team. Where's all this money coming from? Now it makes sense. Now it all makes sense. So I'm at least glad we have that closure. And honestly, I am so excited for season 2. They're filming with her still. It's going to be so good. It's going to be gold.
I just like see this like super cut because I know she had this like monologue at that luncheon that Mary had where she's like, as a woman of color, I have to work twice as hard for half as much. And I'm like, ooh, such a valid point. But now it holds no weight. And I just see it like super cut with her like walking out of the court and like with Nicki Minaj playing in the background and it's sped up. Like it's going to be so good. I'm very excited for the rise and fall of Jen Shaw.
Amazing.
I'm very excited. On a completely random note, I saw that the Met Gala is coming back apparently in person this year, and someone said Miriam Cosby needs to host it.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Yes.
She has experience in hosting Met Gala events.
I'm excited for her to have a really good season too. I hope so.
I think Mary's gonna be so vindicated this season.
Mhm.
She's just such a mess, and I cannot wait to see everything about it. All right, so let's get to Summer House. This was picking up right there from Fight Night, right? Or maybe not. This was Fight Night, right?
Yeah, it was
picked
right
up
after
right from Fight Night.
Fight Night. Kyle's going off on Luke, piece of shit. Man is like, it's not worth it. Luke is like, Carl is not okay. There's like dick measuring contest going on. Like, I don't even know what this was over. Like, was this just drinking? Like, Kristian, please walk us through. And how does this compare to? Is this like the biggest fight that's ever happened on Summer House? Would you say?
I wouldn't say that this is the biggest fight. I would say it's like the most physical that it's ever gotten.
Okay.
But they've definitely had bigger explosions. They've just been between Lindsay and other people, so it didn't get physical. But basically, right, this is the fallout of Carl with maybe good intentions, trying to be like, I've looked like a fuckboy on national television. I just want Luke to be held accountable for it and start owning up to his truth. Luke doesn't handle that very well. There's all of this physical altercation. And then I think like the funniest part of it was how Lindsay, with a quickness, just like detained Kyle.
The ROTC training.
Up against I was like, you do not want to fuck with Lindsay Hubbard. Like, she is frightening.
But
like,
bitch.
It's all just chaotic. Everybody's in their own rooms. Like, Carl goes back to his room. He gets in bed. Danielle's there comforting him. Asks if he wants a hand job. I was like, don't you have a boyfriend? I'm so confused. Like, it was just very messy all around. But it was very apparent that Carl was spiraling emotionally. He was very triggered about how he's been portrayed on television, everything that's going on with his family. It's clear that Luke eventually started processing some family trauma that he has, and then Kyle just loses it as always. And so it was kind of weird because it got resolved very quickly for being so explosive. But yeah, I don't know. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Like, are we Team Carl, Team Kyle, Team Luke, Team Nobody?
Like, do we think I feel like what I don't really understand is what exactly Luke did. Like, is this not even about Luke? Like, am I looking at this the wrong way? Like, I honestly don't even understand how we got to this point. Josh,
I'm team Carl personally. I think I think he's done a better job this season for himself. I think so. So I think he's on a good path right now. And yeah, everyone makes mistakes and stuff, but he's doing okay right now. Cole, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm totally team Kyle. I mean, Carl, I'm confused about the whole situation too, though. Like, why did Kyle and Luke feel the need, or Kyle and Carl feel the need to like get in Luke's face like that about something with Hannah, who Kyle's been fighting with all season, and now all of a sudden he's coming to her offense? What, because like she called him the man? Like, the whole thing really threw me off, and I was just like, yeah, Luke is a fuckboy, but this feels like an overreaction. Yeah. And it made me kind of sad to see Carl like lose control of himself with good intentions in that way, because he had been doing so good all season. But yeah, Team Carl, 100%.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it is kind of sad because it's like the one night where he was like, I'm going to drink, and I haven't drank in this way in a long time. And it was just sad that all of this had to transpire then. But one thing that I will add is like, I think another layer that may add to like the nonsensical level of it is like, in past seasons, they only live with each other on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And like now they're full time with each other. And I'm just like imagining all of the like dumb shit that festers up with when I used to have roommates. And then just like, I like looked for an excuse to explode. And I was like, all right, here we go. Like, let's like throw hands. And so I feel like it might've just been like mounting tensions about like chores, music, parties, money, all of these sort of things that just like boiled over as soon as they had an excuse to defend Sierra in this way. Because it clearly wasn't about Sierra, the way that Kyle went and just like objectified her the very next day. Like, it had nothing to do with Sierra.
Oh yeah. Well, the good thing about this fight though is it didn't have to do with Hannah. Like the first time, like Hannah stopped the presence of it. But like it kind of made me sad though, because I kind of like love to hate Hannah. Like she's so much drama and so much like she's so extra. I was waiting for her to have a part in this, and there wasn't. She wasn't part of it.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking about Hannah today, and I was like, what is an equivalent reality TV character? Because I don't know if I've ever seen someone, and maybe all of my time watching Bravo, that I just don't even know how to process what is coming on the screen about them. Like, I don't know if I support it. Do I live for how messy it is, or am I just frustrated? And like, I think to me, if she were a Survivor contestant, she would be the second coming of Jenna Lewis. Like, Jenna Lewis in All Stars to me is Hannah, where it's like, it's such a chaotic force that you honestly don't know if you're rooting for or against at any time.
Yeah.
And maybe that changes like within the minutes, but that's to me, Hannah is the Jenna Lewis figure. And let's, I guess, we can get to Hannah more. She's bringing her boyfriend on camera. Dez is on the way, and I'm excited for that next week because I love that Kyle also could tell that they're doppelgangers because they truly look so similar.
Yes.
Cole, what are your thoughts on Hannah's new boy?
I'm like so confused by Hannah and this sudden engagement, right? She's like, what, 26, 27. I was like, yeah, girl, play the field, like, women's empowerment. And then now all of a sudden she's engaged to this comedian she met like via Instagram during quarantine. Like, none of us are in our right mind. It all seems really fast. But I'm kind of excited for the inevitable wedding and then very messy public divorce that hopefully could play out on Summer House. Like, that makes me a little bit feisty for it. So I'm also just excited that he's going to be joining the house. And I'm really looking forward to that Luke and Des interaction because that should give something kind of awkward. I think it'll be good.
And I think like we were talking about last week, we needed another man. And so we'll clearly talk about Stravi coming back. But the fact that we get two men in one episode, I'm just like, let's go. It'll balance out the house a little bit more and probably help to diffuse the Luke, Carl, Kyle stuff.
Yes. I'm excited also for Danielle's boy to come because I'm like living for Danielle. I think it's like she's someone that I actually would want to be friends with in real life.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, she's like actually just cool.
Her hair this season is making me want long, dark, curly hair, and never in my life have I wanted long, dark, curly hair. So he's doing something.
Yes, I just live for her. I loved all of I don't know if it was real or fake drama, but Lindsay having a pregnancy scare. That Lindsay just always wants to give drama. She always wants to get TV, and she said we're going to make a day storyline out of this one.
Lindsay really wants the fame. It's so obvious. She's a fame whore, and I love it.
I know, and I just like.
Oh, go ahead. I think Lindsay also wants a baby.
Yeah, she does.
100%. Like, Lindsay is just so desperately trying to like make up for her childhood not being the way that she wanted it to be. That she's like, I just want to be a mom, and I want to be able to be there for my child like my mom wasn't there for me, which is cool and great, but I'm like, it's so hard to watch on television. And the fact that she's just been shit talking Stravi for like 4 episodes straight while he was gone, and then he shows up, I'm like she has to feel like such a bitch, and he has to look like a fucking clown, like watching his back. Like, it's just so sad.
It was only like 2 episodes ago was that 5-second breakup call.
The PowerPoint, not the PowerPoint.
And the PowerPoint presentation.
I would be happy if a man, as a straight woman, a straight man took the time to make me a PowerPoint about our presentation. I'd be like, yes, put a baby
You're for
in.
that? You're for that?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. They're putting it all out there. They're organizing it, so I know exactly what they're gonna do and like what my expectations are realistic about this relationship. Yeah, 100%. I was like, why are you shitting on him for this? That's the dream.
I just feel like
specifically what she asked for too. Like, let's not forget that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But I feel like with Lindsay, like, even though she asked for that, I don't think she's someone that likes everything to be planned out and being told what. Like, she likes more spontaneity in her life, even though she says she wants more structure. Yeah. And I just feel so bad for Stravi watching this back because this is going to be major cringe. Do we think she's going to accept him? Like, is he back to stay? Like, did he have to go through COVID quarantine before this?
I mean, it seemed like in the preview they were like kissing and cuddling. So like, I would imagine he'd be here for at least a little bit.
You know, maybe it was production planting storylines. The Gorgas. So.
Oh,
so maybe we'll see what happens, right?
yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess the only other shit that happened was like all of the makeup from the big fight night. Kyle apologizes to Luke. Luke comes in and cries over dinner. Was it really awkward? Am I imagining that? I can't remember what was happening there.
I know. I felt like it was very awkward because Luke has been a person who like hasn't really had any sort of outside narrative from the house. Like his whole storyline has just been like him and the girls in the house. And so to just like randomly bring his family into it, I was like, I mean, live your truth and like be vulnerable with these people. But it seems so weird. And it almost seemed like he was just excusing his behavior, or like using his trauma to excuse his behavior. And you could tell that like Carl was like, like we've been through similar things, and I've had to learn. I don't act the way that you're acting, and so like let's just like grow up. But it was like I was like there just needs to be a therapist here. Like they just need a group counselor.
I know. Luke's like, I don't know. To me, is Luke just like immature? Like, is that just what it is at the end of the day? Is he like? I just feel like he's really immature. I don't even know. Like I don't even know why we got to this point. He apologized to Hannah for something, like, but I think he's kind of winning in my mind some points back for Hannah bringing her boyfriend on camera in the same season. A few episodes later, probably a few weeks later, real time, after having this big blow up that turned the whole house against him. 100%. Just saying, I don't know. Like, I don't even know how we got to that point. But I think that's it for Summer House. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Cole, you had something to say? Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, Luke is immature, but like Luke he is like that super sexy guy that never had to try hard. So he thinks he can always just weasel his way out of his bullshit. But it was kind of nice to see him like have an emotional breakdown. But at the same time, I kept thinking in my head, I'm like, Luke is an actor. You see him on TV all the time, like in acting roles. Is he just turning on the tears? Because we've never seen that kind of emotion from him in almost 2 seasons now. So,
yeah, I totally co-sign that. I don't know. Maybe I'm like over Luke. I just don't think he like fits in the house at all.
I don't either.
He doesn't remind me of any of these people. Like, I don't believe that he's friends with these people. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't fit, and they need to really rework their guy cast.
I will say one thing that I was just like, Jesus Christ, Carl. When Carl was like, I will rip his hair out and turn it into a necklace and then sell it back to him. I was like, Carl, like, let's take a few deep breaths. This is wild.
That was absolutely chaotic. I am going to give this episode 4 out of 5. Cole, we rate every episode out of 5 here. So I'll go to you next. What would you give this episode of Summer House out of 5?
Do we only do whole numbers or can we do decimals?
You could do half numbers.
Oh, I do 0.5s.
Yeah, Josh will go like 0.4, 6, 7. He will go wherever his heart desires. I try to stick to whole numbers, but wherever you want to go.
I would give it a 3.75. I wish there was just more Danielle this whole season. That's my complaint.
I agree.
Give us more.
I know. I think she unfortunately works a lot, which is great for her and sad for us. What about you, Kristian? Girl boss.
I'm actually pretty high on this episode. I'm going to give it a 4.5 just because, like, clearly it was good. And just to have like the setup of Strawby coming back to the house.
Yes, I was Kyle, so excited to see that.
Pushing Lindsay onto the deck. Like, I was like, oh, this is just, it's good. It's comedy. So I'm going to give it a 4.5.
What about you, Josh?
I'll give it a 3.5. I thought it was good. It wasn't the best this week.
Wow. It was deviation all over the place today.
Yeah, that was very spread out. All right, let's go to Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are Hurricane Zeta. She is coming through New Orleans. We are back on day 2 of the trip. I think the big drama of the week was the Marlo drama, which I honestly had a really hard time following. Maybe this is like a theme, this drama that I really cannot follow, but Marlo has inserted herself into the Kenya and Portia feuds. And I think kind of the big blow up was at the dinner with Big Frida. Okay, Josh, what are your thoughts about seeing Big Frida there on?
I was living. I don't know how they got Big Frida on there, but I was living for it. I love her.
Yeah.
It was just
Didn't Drew say Drew's cousin is on Big Frida's Glam or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. But
something like
like
that.
Big Frida, you know, doing the whole cooking lesson. It was great. It was just TV gold. I loved every second of it. And she had to sit there through that whole entire fight.
And she was miserable sitting through that fight.
Literally.
I would have been living for it. I've just been like, oh my God, can you believe this is happening in front of us? Kristian, okay, let's talk about this dinner. Marlo starts, she goes down this long hypothetical being like, if you had a friend that's I had said this and said that and said that, and then Portia's like, you're talking about me, and then it devolves. What were your thoughts about this whole fight?
It was just I was just confused. I don't know, like I was
Yes.
like, Marlo, we've seen you be cutthroat and direct and like very vicious in an argument, and you're just like walking or like you're beating around the bush so hard that I was just very confused as to what she was trying to do. But I will say, like, I feel like Portia ended up being the winner of all of this.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
For sure.
like it just
No
made Kenya
question.
and Marlo look so bad. Like, Marlo looks like she's just getting over involved. Kenya looks actively stupid. But like Portia just fucking, when she was like, yeah, as wide as this table, Kenya, as wide as this table. I fucked the man who made the pig. Like,
It was great.
She was just gold. And I was like, this really is growth, because 4 years ago, Portia would have like reached over the table and hit Kenya. And so I was just like, this is awesome.
Did you guys get the same vibe as like Bethany versus Ramona mention it all? It was like literally like it was so similar to that. Like I thought Portia was gonna spread her legs up and be like, mention it all. It was it was great. It was iconic.
Yeah, it was two heavy hitters, but also Marlo being in the complete middle. Like when Marlo got up and started walking around that table, I was getting major Nene vibes. I do feel like Marlo, she channels Nene. She really brings that energy to a lot of these scenes sometimes. And I feel like Marlo is someone that's great with like one-off quips. I don't think she's like really great in these big blow-up scenarios because she just like gets too heated and too worked up. And I don't, again, really understand what it is about. But then Kenya basically... What killed me was when Portia was like, don't say my name anymore to Kenya. And she was just yelling this at Kenya over and over and over again. And I was just, Portia, I'm very proud of how far she has come. Like, Candy had some incredible sound bites. Candy was like narrating this, being like, why is Marlo in the middle of this? I don't understand why this is a group conversation anymore about South Carolina. Can we all please get over Bolo? Please. Okay.
I mean, it's been going on for like, what, 5 episodes? Like,
yes. Okay, I feel like this is actually something that I feel like this is a product of quarantine filming. I feel like a lot of these seasons in quarantine, it's like there's one big thing and then we talk about it for episodes and episodes and episodes because there's nothing else happening. And it's kind of like bumming me out because like I feel like the magic of Housewives, especially like New York and other series, it's like there is something new every episode that's like equally crazy to talk about. And instead we like relitigate the same stuff over and over and over and over again. So like the point where now I don't even know what we're fighting about. Like I honestly, I'm I'm entertained, but I don't understand it. And you know what? But I live for Portia. She left that next morning from the trip without saying a single word to anyone. She pieced out of New Orleans. She said bye. I have to say that hotel does not look that nice. Like that's not really a glamorous hotel. Hotel Indigo. I feel like they were being super shady towards it in the editing.
That was a 2-star hotel.
It was a little messy. The power goes out. Seda comes on. There's a lot of hurricanes. They're following the ladies this season. Let's see what else. Is there anything else that was about? Okay, we saw Biden win the election. That was exciting.
And seeing Portia talk about politics was just dope because like, you don't really see people talk about it in such a meaningful way. And so for her to just be able to bring light to it, and it's clearly something that she's devoted a lot of time and energy to, it was just awesome. And it was cool. Just like even as somebody who follows Portia on social media, I knew she was involved in it. But I was like, oh, she's just kind of like showing up. But no, like she's knowledgeable. Like she's a mover and a shaker in this election, which is super awesome.
She was a big in like all the movement and everything going on throughout the year. So like I was so excited to see her reaction to, you know, the news and see that. I was really excited to see her and what she had to say. So
yeah, she was like ready for those runoff elections. She's like, she's like, we have to get Ossoff in there. She mispronounces his name, but you know what? She knows who he is. And I was just so happy for her. I was also like, it kind of warmed my heart when Kenya was so excited that Biden won Michigan. I was like, okay, that actually warms my heart that these people are like excited about it, because I feel like, you know, I love Dallas, but I'm sure none of those women were like jumping up and down about Joe Biden winning. So it's like,
so me and Cole live in Michigan. So like we can say like throughout our life, majority of elections have gone blue in our state.
Right.
But like the last one was a shock to all of us in 2016 when Michigan went red. None of us were expecting that at all. None of us were. Even if like Trump won that election, we were always assuming that Michigan would go blue, and it went red. So I knew this election, there was no way it was happening. Like, there's just no way. Cole, do you agree? Like, there was just not. We knew we were going blue this time.
It was scary. I was glad in this, like, not to get super heavy, in this last election cycle that people our age and in cities and younger people realize that you actually have to vote. And if you don't vote, this is what happens. And Donald Trump was very much a product of like people disengaging because they didn't want to deal with everything that was going on. So my hope is, you know, this enthusiasm that we see across all different walks of life for Biden winning the presidency is people remember this is when you have to fight harder. This is not the time to like pull back and take it easy and like breathe a sigh of relief. Like, no, this is the time you have to keep putting the pressure on politicians, because otherwise the Republicans who know they can't win will make laws so they
take
can
advantage of it.
Win. And that's what we're seeing. So I think we need more people like Portia that have this amazing platform just by virtue of being themselves to use it for powerful and meaningful change, because it's impactful to all of their followers to do that. It inspires people.
What I was going to say, it feels like a cool evolution. I feel like social media or like reality stars in past elections, like their whole presence during elections would be like, get out to vote, but they would never really say who to vote for, right? But like now we're seeing like people like Portia or even Luann. I won't go too far into that, but like people being like, no, Joe
Let's
Biden.
not talk about Ramona.
Like vote, don't only just go out and vote, but vote for Joe Biden. Like, and so that's been nice to see in this past like couple of seasons. But no, let's not talk about Ramona.
Yeah, let's stay on the positives. Let's
talk about Ramona.
Let's finish up at Candy's new restaurant, Blaze. I want to hear your thoughts. Would you guys go to an evening at Blaze? Like, what kind of event would you go to Blaze for? Like, is that like a date restaurant? What are your guys' thoughts?
Seems like it. I thought like a date night out looks cute. Anything by Candy I'd try out. I love Candy, and for me, Candy is just someone. That's why Candy's been on the show for every single season, but the first season is because Candy, you just gotta love her, and she's not the most drama, but she fits her spot very well on the show. So yeah, so Candy's doing it. I'm all here for it.
Yeah, no, it was a cute little moment. I like the little fire pits.
Yeah, I think it's like the thing with Atlanta that I have to get over is like every nice restaurant looks like it's in a strip center next to like a dry cleaner. And I just feel like maybe that's just me being like, I don't like that about Atlanta, but that's just the team. And I have heard there are rumors that Candy's Vanderpump Rules-esque show will start to begin production in a few months. Because there were rumors of it like actually like taking off, and it's like been stalled by coronavirus, but I think we're finally going to get a Candy restaurant series, and I'm excited for it. So, I'm here for it. Let's wrap up Atlanta. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 peaches. Kristian, what are you going to give it?
I was going to give it a solid like 3.5 peaches. Like there was definitely some highlights. Regardless, even though I didn't know what they were fighting about, the fight was really entertaining to watch. It was. So yeah, 3.5.
Josh.
I will follow Kristian on that. Also say 3.5. I thought Portia was hilarious. I thought that whole fight was great. So.
And apparently Marlo is lying about getting liposuction. So that's the drama we're going to be following next week.
Oh, near liposuction.
And I'm very excited to break it down. So let's get to Below Deck Sailing Yacht. I have to say, the one thing that really kind of shook me was the engagement of the primary guest. First, there were a lot of things that I felt like, wow, these people are so selfish. They're in their entire own world. So this man's ex-husband, on his ex-husband's birthday, he is going to propose to his new boyfriend on their vacation together. If someone took my birthday like that and like used it to do whatever they wanted to do like that, I would be pissed off. And I was just like, that is A. And then B, the look on his face when he asked to marry him, he was like, oh fuck. Like it was like the same look to me that Dale had on The Bachelorette this past season, being like, wait, you're serious? Like, we're actually doing this? Like, this is real? And I just want your thoughts on that entire engagement, Kristian. What were your thoughts?
I just like am fully. Maybe we said it earlier. Maybe it's just my internal thoughts, but like these people are a stain to the gay community, and I'm just and I'm just like so tired of watching it. Like it just makes me so fucking sick. I'm a big birthday diva, and so just the thought of somebody they didn't even really celebrate his birthday. Like they had a cake.
That was sad.
It was so sad. I was like, it was so upsetting to have your whole family there and for them to be celebrating somebody's engagement. It's so selfish.
What were your thoughts, Cole?
I just want to know, what do they do for a living? Do we know?
No, I have no idea.
They own a brothel. No, I'm kidding.
I'm fascinated by them. But man, I mean, yeah, I feel bad for the ex-husband, but think about the daughter.
Oh, we refer to her as Diglett.
No, Pokemon. Not the third episode in a row with Diglett.
This girl, she has taken over my life.
No wonder she's plumped her lips up so much. She's like trying to get through her trauma of her ex-boyfriend now marrying her father. I mean,
becoming her stepdad.
Yeah.
Well, now she can call him daddy.
Oh God. Oh man, she's gonna have a lot of plastic surgery next time he's here. It's gonna be a whole new face, I think.
Good.
What were your thoughts on Miss Saffron taking all those shots? She got really fucked up.
Was great. I loved when she just went in the bathroom in the big t-shirt and she was puking for an hour.
Hours, all night.
Yeah, who knows how long.
Steal the scene, girl. That's what I was saying.
But my favorite part of the episode was when they were up there setting it up for them, and they were like, "We're gonna put the candles on the side and the petals in the middle." And the first thing that happens when they come upstairs is one of them tripped over the candles on the side. I thought it was amazing. I was like, "This is what we pay for here. This is hospitality at its finest."
It was incredible. That ring, like I was speechless at that ring. Like, what is that? That looks like that could kill someone. Like, literally. Like I would have been like, that's the ring. I don't know. They had all this money for the engagement ring and no money for a tip for them. $15,000. That's low. I feel like I've spent days with them. And that's not enough money. Like I
didn't think that was a big tip either. I was like, they
especially for how many people they had with them. Like it was just cheap.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I understand you weren't happy with the food. But you also have 9 people and there's one chef. There's no sous chef. There's not bar backs and bussers and all of these people. There's one chef and 3 stews to get everything done. Like, cut them a little slack. Like family style could have been a good option for you if you wanted all of your food hot and at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But they're a big family. Like you have 1 million kids. Like why do we need everything to be plated? These are like 10-year-olds.
Right.
And they all want the individual plates. This one wants chicken and this one wants...
Your choice to have all those children. They shouldn't have to suffer for it, you know?
I don't think it's Natasha's fault. I think they're just actually kind of poor. Like that's my impression of like them. I just think that they
that ring looked like it came out of a Cracker Jack box. So
I bet that ring is fake. I bet none of that is real. It's so gaudy to me. I can't. Okay. Enough of those guests. Those guests, they have left our lives finally. I'm excited.
Hi, Diglett.
I don't know. Did we grow to love them or did we grow to just despise them further? water.
No.
I
Christian.
despise
I
that.
think honestly so bad that like I'm starting to be low on the entire show below deck sailing now. Like, and I was like, why am I not enjoying this? And I was like, because it feels like they've been on it for fucking ever. Like they just needed to leave. And so I felt very relieved once they were gone.
Yeah, my boyfriend was also like, I'm sitting this one out. And I think it's like the exact same reason. Let's see what else is happening. Danny and Jean-Luc, they randomly make out. Like, I was actually kind of shocked by that. Like, all of a sudden, they were literally just walking down the stairs, and in the next second, they're making out at the bottom. I was like, oh, wow, that was shocking.
I'm here for it, Cougar Danny.
Yes, and Danny, she gets the assignment. She's like, we have, 2 weeks with these people, then we'll never see them again. Like, might as well just have fun now. And I love that. I love that mentality.
I love her. She's my favorite.
Love Danny. She's amazing. And then we got more of the Gary, Allie, and weird Sydney love triangle. Cole, what are your thoughts on that mess?
I just like my 16-year-old self feels so bad for Sydney, like following him around like a lost puppy and not getting the hint. It just makes me kind of sad. However, I'm kind of interested to see like where this throuple goes and like how does a threesome work in those small beds? You know, like how would that feasibly work? That's
can a bed even support 3 people? Like those beds, those little bunks.
I mean, if it can support one Jean-Luc, it could support 3.
That's true. That is really true.
End, I was disappointed at the end because the preview from the week before was like them jumping into the ocean. So I thought after suffering through those guests for 3 episodes, maybe we get something juicy. And then it was like, tune in next week. We're already here again.
I think there is going to be like, I remember from the preview of the season, like I think Captain Glenn's going to like get heated at them jumping in the water. So I think we're going to see some angry Captain Glenn, which I love. Angry Captain Glenn. Angry Daddy. We are so here for Captain Glenn on this podcast.
We kind of think he's the trade of the season, Cole.
He's the one.
He's the hottie. He's the trade. He's the hot one.
I find Colin so wildly attractive.
Me too. Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Wait, who? Colin. Chris?
Colin.
The engineer.
Really?
Oh.
No.
Yeah. I think, he's attractive. He has like some interesting tattoos going on, but I'm like here for him.
Yeah.
Why did I think his name was Chris? Like I'm sure it's Colin. I've literally been writing it wrong, I think, for weeks now. Colin. Okay. What about Gary? Do we think Gary's attractive at all?
I didn't, and then he took his clothes off. And I was like, maybe.
No. He reminds me of Michael Bolton in the 80s when he had hair. I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's just, and like Michael Bolton now is super sexy without any hair. But when I think of him with that long hair and I see Gary, I just am like taken to the 80s and it makes me kind of itchy. I don't know.
Michael Bolton, good one. Love.
Yeah.
He's a good tipper, unlike those people, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What else? Okay, I guess the last bit of drama was like the meeting afterwards. Daisy kind of like gets a little heated, and then Gary gets a little heated. And I honestly don't know what I feel about this. Like, I think I'm on Daisy's side, I guess, because of her being a woman, but like, what do we feel about this otherwise, Kristian? Like, do you have strong thoughts about the drama? Because like, honestly, if someone was asking me to do stuff that was outside of my work, I'd be a little hesitant. Maybe that's just me being a little lazy. But
yeah, I think I definitely want to be Team Daisy, but I don't necessarily understand. Like, it seems like there's clearly some sort of like lapse in the amount of work that the interior is getting done, because it's like becoming a consistent issue that they need to ask other people to step in. And I'm like trying to be like, maybe it's the factor of being on like a sailing yacht that makes it different, because like this didn't really happen on the mega yachts as much. And it especially seems like the deckhands would need to be on the deck more in this situation, because it seems, I don't know, it just seems more dangerous, like with all of the different sails and ropes and whatnot. And so like I understand what Daisy's saying, but I'm also like, maybe clean some dishes faster, or like get your third stew up to speed, or maybe Danny shouldn't be making out with Jean-Luc, and maybe we could be getting it done.
I'll make out with Jean-Luc.
Are you crushing on Jean-Luc now, Josh?
I mean, he's kind of dumb, but like, I'll go for it. You know, like marry, fuck, kill. He's definitely like the fuck, not the marry. You know, 'cause he's a little dumb.
All right.
I don't know. I don't have any like. When I look at Jean-Luc, I have truly no thoughts. Like I'm just like, okay.
Same.
Yeah, like I don't see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was shocked when he took his shirt off and he's just covered in tattoos. It was like,
yes.
Who?
It's weird. It's like that's not what I would have thought about your personality.
right.
I like him as Curry.
Ooh.
He looks like one of the Monstars from Space Jam.
Oh my gosh. That's
The new Space Jam is coming soon, so maybe he's in it.
Josh is just wilded.
sometimes, Josh, you say things and I don't even know what to react to.
That's me. Cole's been known me for 20 years, so I haven't changed.
Yeah, I'm not reacting. See?
Yeah. I feel like the last thing I want to say is like I feel bad for Sydney that she will have to watch this back and just get like dunked on in edit. And girl, we stand with you. It's messy.
I almost want her to have a redemption season.
I know. I want the best for her because I just think she's like cool, but like also a little messy. And, you know what? We stand.
Like her a lot. I just feel sad for her.
Yeah. I do also feel sad for her. I feel like it's only going one way, and it's not going to be good for her. So, okay, I will give this episode. Let's see, I'll give it 3 out of 5. Is that too high? Maybe
too high. I'm gonna go 2.
I'm gonna give it 2.5 out of.
Okay, I'll follow that up with a 2. I hope that with the new charter guests, I get excited again, or at least with Glenn getting a little angry. But I don't know. I'm getting burnt out.
I am too, actually. Josh, what about you?
I will also say 2.
2? I
will say 2. Yeah, it was good. I never have to see that family again, so 2.
Thank God. What about you, Cole?
I would give it a 2.5. I think Saffron's lips deserve that extra half point that you guys deducted.
Respect.
She was delivering. She got messed up. She was throwing up everywhere. You know, she took that night. She said, "You know what? It's not about my one dad's birthday. It's not about my other dad's engagement. I'm going to make it about me throwing up on this toilet and take over the drama for the night." And you know what? We respect the queen who wants the attention.
Good for her. Good for her this week.
She was throwing up that her ex-boyfriend is now her stepdad. And you know what? We stand. Okay, let's go to Real Housewives of Dallas. I almost said Below Deck Dallas. Well, let's go to Real Housewives of Dallas. The girls are in Oklahoma, which is like a place I personally would never want to go to.
I just got back from Oklahoma. Like a week ago.
What are your thoughts? Is it amazing? Is it sad? That was the saddest winery I've ever seen.
Bigfoot?
Yeah, did you see Bigfoot?
But I saw more cows than I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm fairly certain that there are more cows than people in Oklahoma. You know, I was in Tulsa and I think Tulsa is going to be really cool in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not there yet, but it's trying real hard. And you know what? Good for you, you little like blue Mecca in the middle of that red state. My main thing against Tulsa was that everybody was riding like bird and lime bikes everywhere, you know, the dumb scooters. Like
it's so bad in DC. It's terrible.
Everywhere. And it was disorienting on the sidewalk when I was already kind of disoriented because there's no mask mandate. So it was just like a lot of, you know, leaving in and out. So I would give if we're rating Tulsa, I would give it like a 2.5 out of 5.
Would you ever go back?
In
In
10 years.
You gotta check up in 10
No, I
years. That's a
would. My plan C is to move to Tulsa if I ever really need a job. No, listen, Tulsa is trying to attract like young professionals to come live there.
Well, I'm moving with you. I'll go too. I can't.
So if you're an artist, they'll give you $40,000 residency and they'll pay you rent for a year. But any job you can do remotely, any other job you can do remotely, they'll give you 10 grand. They'll pay for you to move and they'll pay you rent for a year. So Tulsa is my plan C.
Wow, literally paying people to go to Tulsa.
Yeah.
What does that say about the state?
Let's go.
And then you can spend a lot more time looking for Bigfoot. Let's get to that fight while on the search for Bigfoot. I think that was the big fight of the episode. Carrie is being Carrie. She is like blackout drunk. She is pissed that she is having to go on this activity, I guess, and she is being so nasty to Charles, I think is his name. Our Bigfoot hunter Charles. She is asking him if he has a small dick. She is saying the craziest thing. She is waving a machete in front of him. It was just so chaotic. Josh, what were your thoughts on Carrie this week?
So this season, usually the Karen of the episode is Brandy. This episode, for once, it was Carrie, and I was not having it until this last fourth of the episode.
Brandy was still a Karen. Don't you forget about how this episode started.
Carrie was way more of a Karen this episode than Brandy, I think. I think Carrie was totally just obnoxious. This guy, it was a fun activity. It was something that Stephanie put together for all of them. And I think that she was being disrespectful, truthfully. I thought it was really disrespectful. It was rude. And she should have just gone with it. Okay, so she doesn't like hunters, but it was for fun. It was something that Stephanie put together. So I wasn't there for it. Sorry, Carrie.
She doesn't like hunters. She's eating a hot dog, and we've all seen the leather bags and shoes she carries. So it's like, pick a
She's an animal lover. She's an animal lover, though. She has to stick up.
She's an animal lover. Like, pick a lane. If you're really an animal lover, you're not wearing that, I don't know, Hermes bag that's made of leather. Like, let's not forget where that comes from. I'm never a big fan of Carrie, but that really just. To be that rude to a stranger who you don't have to get along with them, you don't have to like them, but to just be that mean, like what is going on with you internally that you felt the need to take that out on this guy? And it's just embarrassing. It makes them all look bad. Right. I'm sure they're never going to be invited back to Oklahoma.
No, and I felt like the one good thing out of it was like we got to see Stephanie have a backbone. Which I feel like she hadn't even had one really with Brandy or anything that had been going on there. So it was really nice to see her assert herself in this scenario and kind of sit Carrie down and be like, baby girl, no. And the fact that she brings him back, that's good. That's good TV.
That is good TV.
Chef's kiss. So I have to say, I'm up on Stephanie this week.
I am lukewarm on Stephanie. I will never get too hot on Stephanie because I'm not impressed. I have to say, everything that Deandra did this week made me fall out of my chair. I think she is honestly, word for word, what she says is some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen on a reality show. And maybe this is just I don't even know what it is about Deandra, but she truly does it for me. From when she was driving that RV and just the ladies flying around in the back. That killed me when she was on that Bigfoot hunt. She was whacking down all of the vines and stuff, and she's like, "I can get through anything." And I'm not a city lady. And then when she was questioning poor Charles about why he was hunting turkey in the middle of the night, oh my god, I died. I just think she's the funniest bitch I've ever seen. I don't know what it is, but Josh, go ahead.
Speaking of Deandra, let me tell you my conversation I had with her last night.
Okay. Oh wow!
So me, as a fellow only child, I get you so much. You're slowly becoming one of my top 3 housewives. You're incredible. Please never leave the show because you are the show. And she said, "You're so sweet. Thank you for the love." And I said, "Oh, girl, me and 2 of my friends just started a podcast over the last few months. You are our queen." And she said, "Best of luck on your new adventure." Okay.
You got a response from Deandra. That is very exciting. She now knows that you have a podcast, which is also exciting. I love her. I love everything about her. I think she's one of those people similar with Luann, like I said before, where it's I feel like there are endless sides to Deandra. Like you put her in a new scenario and she's like, I've done this a million times. Let me tell you everything that I've done about looking for Bigfoot. Like is just truly incredible. I love. Oh well, okay. Let's start from the beginning of the episode. What are your guys' thoughts about Deandra's formal apology to Brandy? Cole, do you have any thoughts about this one?
I just thought, why are you apologizing?
Yeah.
It's not Deandra's fault that you said and that shit and made a video. And it's not her fault that you feel guilty. And she was asked a question. She answered. She didn't say anything bad about her.
Nothing
about it. She just said, we're going to address it this season. So I completely think that it's Brandy taking her emotions out on Deandra. And I don't know why Deandra chose this instance to cave when she never caves. So I was disappointed in Deandra.
Really? I love that she said that Darren helped her through this. She said that she was shaman through it, and she did apologize. I feel like she's going to take back that apology at the reunion.
100%.
I hope
I think we're going to see this continue. Christian, go.
Film today, by the way.
Oh, I can't wait to see the looks, and I can't wait to see Brandy looking miserable and terrible. But I just love the editors like cutting to Darren being like, "You don't associate with the peasants," and then it just like shows Brandy's face. I was like, yes. Like just do it to us. But yeah, no, I think Deandra didn't need to apologize. I kind of like respect her decision for doing so, just so Brandy would shut the fuck up on their trip. Yeah. And then I feel like, kind of like you were saying, she's going to take it back at some point. Like, this fight is not over. Deandra's the queen of bringing shit back up.
Yep. I think we're going to see it again a couple of times going forward. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Okay, I have to say that winery. Like, was anyone else kind of like grossed out by that? Was that, I don't know what that was. That was like an ice cream shop.
I was like sitting there, Sam, and I was like, maybe I'm spoiled having like lived in Charlottesville for so long and just like being in wine country in Virginia that I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, I was like,
I know.
You're not about to drink this. Like, you are not about to drink this. I was so confused.
I was just like, go ahead, Gold.
I have visited so many wineries. I work for a distillery. I've always worked for distilleries. I have never seen something like that, except for the one time I decided to make dandelion wine. And that was the same process I used. And I didn't call myself a winery. So
yeah, everything about that.
Tell you, that dandelion wine was nasty. So I bet
I know that wine was not good. I know that was not good wine. No, it was not. Like ahead of time when I heard, there was 2 activities. I obviously would have chosen the winery. After seeing that winery, I would have rather gone fishing. Is that crazy? I don't like fishing, but I would have rather been there than sitting in this like weird couch area that they just like clearly made for filming, like in the back. Like I don't even know, like it looked like a loading dock. I was just like, this was. Did
anyone notice the pictures of all the women like in the background in the hats and with the boas? At the winery?
No, I didn't see that.
There were like all these like blown up pictures of like different women like all together, clearly wasted in this back room, but they have like a backdrop behind them. They're wearing cowboy hats and feather boas and it's like the photo booth at a wedding. But for some reason they were displayed at this winery, and it was kind of sad because there were only like 4 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bizarre winery. Back at the fishing, we saw Tiffany had the sun hat, and like I am 100% the same way as her. I am 100% Anglo. I burn in the sun. I have to be shaded at all times, or else I will turn just burnt. I will burn. So I'm like, I feel her pain there. I understand that sun hat. That the fact that she had 2 different sizes. I'm like a queen that comes prepared. I love that about her. Carrie asked if they eat the fish to the fisherman. I love that because that was just her being chaotic. And like the thing that I love about Carrie too was like Carrie to me is like a true just like villain. And I like that she can exist in the space where I don't hate her the same way that I genuinely dislike watching Brandy on my TV screen. Like Carrie is like a neurotic, annoying villain. And I love her from that perspective where it's like they had to so clearly spell out why she did wrong shit at the night before for her to like actually understand what happened. Because like when she woke up the next morning, she was still fighting and she was not ready to accept that she had had a messy night. And then it took like literally telling her to her face, girl, what were you doing, for her to then go and break down to Stephanie after.
Like,
Do you have any thoughts? Go ahead, Josh.
On the first, not Leanne season 4, we do not count that awful side of Leanne in season 4, but the first 3 seasons, she was a villain. But you kind of wanted to watch her. You wanted to see what she was going to do next. And then season 4 came along, and she just we don't discuss that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited that we have some villains here. I think Carrie she fills that role well, and I think she's doing the most that she can. She apologizes to Stephanie. It is what it is. The one Stephanie drama, it is over with already. In one episode, her grudge is over. So I'm glad that we will be having some more Oklahoma next week. Let's grade this episode. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. What about you, Josh?
I'll give it a 4.
Okay. What about you, Kristian?
I was living for this episode. I'll give it a 4. I was very entertained. It was kind of interesting to see like Tiffany kind of fade into the background. I feel like she's been carrying a lot of the episode, but it was nice to see, Carrie and Stephanie kind of take up some more space. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah. What about you, Cole?
Yeah, I'll give it a 4. I mean, between Tiffany having the 2 sizes of the sun hat and Deanna driving that bus, I was good.
That's so true. Okay, you're so right. I'm giving it a 4. I'm happy that Tiffany was not involved. Like, she's actually just enjoying herself, I think, and she deserves this time off from being like attacked by literally everyone. Like, girl, take your rest. It's probably gonna get messy at the reunion. Oh, one last thing about Dallas is I saw a tweet. Did you guys see this tweet today? We don't know what it is, but there is a Bravo reporter who said that there's something that's gonna happen at this reunion that has never happened before. And so we don't know what that is. We don't know if like maybe Brandy's going to get fired on air, if she's going to quit in the middle of it. If Carrie Duber apparently was in New York for filming of this reunion. We don't know why. Maybe they're going to announce that Carrie Duber will come back. We don't know yet. But
I would love that. I would love that. I love Carrie Duber.
I would love that too. I don't know why she ever left.
And could you imagine Carrie Duber and Tiffany? That'd be good.
I've heard rumors that Tiffany doesn't want to come back.
I think she will. Although I would not hold it against her if she doesn't want to. But I feel like she knows that the audience is like on her side, and like that's like where you want to be as reality TV. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. Like, you could use this show to your benefit. I really hope she comes back. Okay, let's go to our final episode of the week. New Jersey. Let's talk about it. They are still at the Jersey Shore. I don't know. I feel like the big drama was the Gorga fight, right? Like the Melissa and Joe stuff. Josh, you thought it was production interference or production manipulation?
Oh yeah. Oh, come on. How is it not? Like, you see on Instagram, their family is like going out, they're doing all these fun things together, they're happy, and yet there's this whole Gorga issue. Please. And someone mentioned this on the Facebook group that I post on, but like Melissa was like, it's quarantine. Like, they weren't together. She was going to all these events and things this last year. It's literally been during a quarantine where you guys are together all the time. I call bullshit.
Okay. I'm kind of coming around. What are your thoughts, Kristian, on that fight?
I'm absorbing what Josh is saying. I, again, have only seen these like this season, so I don't really have a frame of reference. So like, as an outsider, Joe just looks dumb as fuck, and that he like can't. It looks like he just feels very threatened that Melissa is gaining some level of independence. Not to say that she wasn't independent before, but like, she's clearly coming into money by being on the show. She has some other business endeavors, and I mean, he's even stated that like this 1 year of marriage while she was working has been different from the other ones, and so I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, it's probably both, right? There's probably production involvement, and I would not put it past Joe Gorga to be toxic male. So it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, Cole, do you have thoughts?
I mean, I think it's production. What did Jennifer say at the reunion last year? She said they invent a storyline every season. Last season, she was going to have a baby. She was never going to have a baby. She wants to be on the show. And the year before that, wasn't it? They were looking for the sister.
Yeah.
We've never heard about this sister again. It's good they're trying to make good TV, but like they could just make good TV without creating these storylines that we don't need.
It's true. And I do agree, Kristian, on Joe Gorga. He is very old-fashioned Italian, which is very sexist. Yeah. I do love Joe Gorga because he's the Gorga family are just dumb. They are like Teresa's just dumb as rocks, and so is her brother. But I love them. Like you gotta love them. They're lovable. They're like teddy bears. But like, yes, I agree. It's kind of sexist.
Well, I mean, he was like being weird, but then he took his shirt off, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
we love. Keep going.
You need to watch season 3 and 4, Joe Gorga. Okay, where's 36.
Starting May 1st, I get to start my New Jersey watch. So
all right,
stay tuned.
You let me know what you think of Danielle Staub, okay? And Kim G.
Those are two absolute legends. Let's not put any on their name. I think so I kind of am like falling somewhere in the middle. Like I feel like it's not completely made up because I feel that it is a weird time for them to be doing this fight. Like I feel like it's this day is really special. Like I don't think that they would want to like pick drama on this occasion. I feel like maybe in my mind, it's not that necessarily she's like working so much because it's COVID. Like maybe she's like starting to make more money than he is, and that's what like makes him upset.
Oh,
like I could see that too because like she's been on the show for a long time, so her contracts are probably the same as like Atlanta Wives. That's like $2 million a year. So it's like maybe that like Melissa's making more money than Joe Gorga is. And maybe that's what's pissing him off. Like I could see that as possibilities.
That's an interesting take on it. Isn't his business like not doing well? And he was called.
I don't even know what his business is.
he's a contractor, but wasn't he?
Yeah.
He posted some like renovation, and the person that actually did it called him out and was like, "That is not your work. That is my work." So maybe
there's shadiness happening there. There is shadiness happening there.
Yeah.
I think like I could see Melissa having to like support the entire family financially, and that would also piss Joe Gorga off more than anything. So I can see that. I love Teresa's reaction to being just like, just give him more attention. Like, just give him what he wants. It was so Teresa, and I just like that was crazy and everything.
Why do we still love her? Why? She's so wrong this season. Like she's been in the wrong so much this season.
But Josh, she has never been in the right. Like that's the thing about Teresa.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Teresa? It's like Teresa's never been someone that is a voice of reason, the voice of an audience. Like she's someone that's truly off in her own world every season. And like we never side with her. Like I feel like we always side against her, but she's doing the most. We live for that. And then I love seeing her vulnerable side with her father. Like that also made me kind of emotional. I'm not gonna lie. Like all those montage clips, like that made me a little emotional. Seeing Nono, Gia giving the speech in front of everyone. I was like, again, flashbacks to her singing that damn song, waking up in the morning. Like that.
There's a part 2 to that song. There are 2 songs. There's also Melania, your legs are so musty when you do gymnastics.
Oh, amazing. Okay, what else? Is there anything else? Jenna Margaret, they fight again. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't really follow what was happening there. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about from New Jersey?
This stupid phone prank.
Yeah.
I'm over those dumb pranks. Can we just like... Yeah, I'm over that. That's stupid, right? No one wants to see these kind of pranks on TV.
No, I was believing it for a second. I thought it was legit for a second.
I don't know. That was very Joe Gorga. The fact that she answered is what like made him happy that she's jealous. Okay, whatever.
I was like, this is like very. I was like, this is toxic male behavior. Like instead of just asking your wife how she feels about you, you have to like get it out of her through this like weird prank where you're like trying to make her jealous and uncomfortable in front of all of her friends. Like, okay.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. Go ahead, Cole.
Oh, that was just like a peek behind the curtain of what their real life is. Like how silly that you wouldn't just be like, hey, I need more attention. Hey, you still love me. They're going to prank your wife. And that makes you feel reassured in your marriage. I don't know.
Yeah, literally. And like, I feel like the weird thing about the Gorga drama, it's like when they were in the car too, it's like I felt bad for everyone else in that car ride. Like I don't want to have to see that. Like if I was there in that car having to watch another couple fight in front of me, I honestly don't know what I would do. I'd just be like, this is incredibly uncomfortable for
Also, when you're at the phase in your relationship where you're willing to fight in front of your friends, it might be time to like. It might be time to, at the very least, like insert a therapist into the mix. You know.
I bet we see a therapist coming in the future. I know they're very anti-therapy.
That's what I've been missing is a Housewives therapist that just has like a thick Jersey accent. Like that's
it's
what
happened.
I need. I know, and I just haven't seen it yet.
What season was it? Was it 5? No. What season was the therapist?
Who went to therapy?
I don't remember.
I feel like it was like the Gorgas, Teresa and Joe.
Oh, they went to that family.
Oh, they went. Yeah, they went to sibling therapy. I forgot about that.
The retreat, right, where Melissa like got on her hands and knees.
Yes. And there was another brawl. Yes, Joe and Joe.
Always a brawl with those two.
I know. And it was something with tables. Joe Gorga slamming on tables. Teresa flipping them. They
Gorgas love their table. You know.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I was like, this was so chilling, like watching Joe Gorga slam the table and like not a single person around him flinched. I was like,
they were just like sitting there.
I was like, this is scary as shit. And like all of them were just so unfazed. I was like, we are not the same. We are not like we have a different threshold.
And Melissa had to one up him with the cheese.
Literally.
There you go.
Flipping the cheese bowl. All right. Jersey, what are you rating this week out of 5 jerseys? Kristian, I'll start with you first.
Like a 2. I like really was not about this episode. Ew. I was like so frustrated with Joe Gorga by the end of it. And I will say, like, I feel like a lot of this has to do with the fact that I haven't seen any of Jersey. So I like didn't the memorial service didn't move me because I don't know who any of these people are. And so I was just low on this episode because it was just Joe being a little toxic little man. But he took his shirt off, though, period.
Girl, you need to get over that one. Cole, what are your thoughts there?
Oh, I would give it like a solid 4.25. I really liked this episode. I thought the drama was good. The no stuff really like was moving to me. Seeing all the little kids and now how they've grown up, it like took me back. I missed some cast members of Days Gone during those clips. Yeah, I thought, more Margaret. It would be perfect if we had more Margaret.
I agreed. I always want more Margaret. She is just a perfect TV character.
I think she's my number 1 housewife right now.
Of everyone.
Current on what's currently on.
She's in my top 5 right now. I'd say Margaret, Lisa Rinna, Deandra. I'd put Kenya. And then there's one more. And maybe Luann.
Wow. We're going to make a list sometime. I will give this episode, I'll give it 3.5 out of 5. Like, I think it was pretty good. I think the Gorga stuff kind of got on my nerves a little bit, but I think there was still so much else going on there. The no stuff, it made me a little teary-eyed. I have to admit, when I kind of cried, and I'm feeling very good about this season. What about you, Josh?
I will give it 4. I thought it was a great episode. It was solid. Thought there was good drama, even though it was staged. I thought it was great. And yes, I agree, more Margaret. And Kristian, you need to start Jersey as soon as possible because season 2 of Jersey is probably one of the best seasons of a Housewives franchise ever.
Wow.
Season 2, it's incredible.
Those are big words.
I'm from Patterson. Did you forget?
The Posh Fashion Show. Worth it. Worth it.
I missed the Posh Fashion Show.
Oh, Kim G.
Kim G. All right, let's go to tops and bottoms. Cole, this is where we kind of we point out a few people that are our tops of the week, a few of the bottoms of the week. We'll go first. Kristian, who are your tops and who are your bottoms of this week?
My top of the week is 100% Portia. I'm going to say her name.
Portia.
She nailed it in the fight with Kenya. I was very excited about that. Bottoms of the week are probably going to go to Stravi because this is only going to look bad. Sydney because that also is only looking very sad and desperate. Joe Gorga because I was just very frustrated with his behavior this week. And of course, Brandy because I hate her. She's never looking good on television these days.
What about you, Josh? Who are your tops and bottoms?
Okay, so my tops this week, I will definitely say Portia. I'm also going to say Big Frida because she had to sit through that whole fight and be fabulous. Yes, Big Frida. And I will also say Stephanie for putting on that amazing Oklahoma trip. My bottoms this week are the Gorga family because of the stage drama, which was so obviously staged. And I will also say Brandy because we're going to say Brandy is our least favorite every week until she's off the show.
Agreed. My bottoms this week. I'll start with my bottoms. Brandy is, of course, a bottom for this week. I just think, girl, I can't with you anymore. I just cannot. What was she? Okay, when she was driving that car, I'm like, what are you wearing? Like, did you guys look at her outfit? I was like, this is not glamour. And I need that. Let's see. Other bottoms of the week, I would have to say Joe Gorga was not really a fan of that happening. I feel that I think Kenya had a kind of messy week. I feel like she's losing the fight there. Tops of the week, I have to say Deandra driving that truck, driving that RV was everything to me. I don't know what it is about Deandra. She just makes me laugh looking at her. And I mean that with true love. I also want to throw Luke in the bottom just because I don't understand him. I think Sierra continues to be in my top, even though we didn't talk about her. I love Sierra so much. And I'm going to throw one more person, Margaret, just because we love Margaret so much. So, Cole, who are your tops and who are your bottoms?
All right. My top would be Lindsay for busting out those ROTC moves.
Yes.
On
with the quickness.
I was impressed. Stephanie, because she stood up for herself, and I was proud to see that. I was happy for her. And then also Daisy, because I might not 100% agree with her for, wanting all the help all the time, but at least she said it and didn't like do what Kate would have done and just, be a bitch all season.
I agree. I think she handled it better than Francesca would have too.
Yeah, better than any of them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
she brought it up and they're handling it, and she didn't take when they fought her on it personally. So those would be my top. My bottom, Brandy. Because I don't know if you recall the face she made when Deandra apologized to her, but it was like one squinty eye, one was open, and it was just like
it was a Karen
someone needs to make a meme of that. And then Sydney, because she's women's empowerment, man. Like, come on, get it together. Yeah.
We love her. We want best. We want the best for Sydney.
We want the best for her.
It's just not it right now. All right. That is everything. Josh, please take us out with our social handles.
Perfect. I'll start with Cole. So Cole has a business that she works for. It's American Liquor Company. You can follow it on Instagram. All right. That's the first one. You can follow Kristian on Twitter at _KRobs. You can follow Sam at Sam Henson 24 on Twitter. That's Sam Henson 24. And myself, you can follow on Twitter and Instagram at Mendels8. That's MENDELS, the number 8. And you can follow the Couch Potato Queens on Twitter, our network at Couch Potato Queens. That's Couch Potato QWNZ. Follow us on our Facebook, Couch Potato Queens Podcast. We do Bravo. We do The Challenge. We're going to be doing Big Brother this summer. Me and Alex will be doing The Circle this month as well, which is premiering. Yeah, so if you guys want to come on for The Circle, let me know.
Yeah,
and we're doing it all. So definitely subscribe, like our video, and we will see you guys next time. Take it away, Sam.
Yeah, Cole, thank you for joining us. You'll have to come back again and talk Bravo. We are happy to have you here. Next week, we have Des coming to Summer House. We have Marla lying about liposuction, and we will break it all down. So until then, next week, bye, guys.
Bye everyone.
Bye.